I am I'm kind of starving. Yeah, got it. Sounds good. Let's see. I'm kind of starving. Boom, there we go. All righty, cool. Let me just get it up and going. And from there, we should. What's going on? All right, so happy Tuesday, everybody. It has been I'll tell you, I ain't gonna lie, last week was a phenomenal week, man. Actually, the whole month has been pretty good. So I am, I'm pretty happy with how everything has been playing out. Let me go to, hold on. All right. Come on. There we go. All right, cool. I am caught up on YouTube. All right, cool. There we go. Awesome, awesome. All right, let's jump right into TradingView. No, we're not going to dilly. we're not gonna waste any time here. All right, because like I said, I'm starving. I haven't had dinner. So, what's up, man? What's up? How's everybody doing, man? Yeah. So last week was pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. It was actually a really nice week, and I was on vacation, so I didn't have to like sit and watch charts all day. But I'm battling like, I don't know, like I've got really bad allergies. I think the oaks are in bloom because my throat's like swelling up. So I'm drinking a lot of water. So if you hear me pause, that's what it is. So let's dive right into it. Let us. All right, hold on. I was messing around with some crypto earlier. Real quick, I'm not going to recap too much. I told everybody, like, if you were interested, definitely back test CAJ. CAJ ended up taking a loss on my first go around. Kind of give you guys just kind of how I looked at it. The point of interest was ideally this. Hold on, where are we at? There we go. Point of interest was our last point of supply out of this distribution right over here. All right. So when price gave us last week, and I believe it was Thursday, right? You took the extreme on EA. Okay. All right. How's that working out for you? Because for me, I'm looking for buys on EA, but yeah. What you enter on I got, what did I enter? So real quick, I'll walk you through it. Like, let's see. So real quick, I had figured that we had 1, 2, 3 drives. I thought this was the UT, and I thought this was the UTAD, and there was a distro in here. So I caught an entry right here. And obviously when we made a new low, I went to break even. On that new low, I had another entry out of here that ended up getting stopped out. So I hit a break even and then a stop loss. So no big deal. I wrote it out. But then we get this UTAD here. And once we broke, I told everybody that, in my group, I was like, hey, if we get that break of structure, play out of this area here. So my first area that I was looking at playing out of was out of the 7-minute candle. So you can see right here, I played out of this 7-minute candle with the stop loss just right above here. So I got triggered, obviously went to break even, and hold on. Yeah, went to break even. You could see I was only sitting at a 1 to 5, 1 to 2.5. So I didn't take any partials. I was pretty adamant we were going to go lower because of the Asian lows still intact. And then ultimately where I played out of was right here. So if you went down lower time frame, you saw this distribution. There was this distribution right here, and I played out of when I measured this UTAD, this was 80%, and then you could see the 30-second and the 15-second opens the same candle. So that's where I played out of, and I got triggered. Yeah, I got triggered pretty easily on it. So you'll see Now I didn't because I was in the middle of a canoe trip with my family. I should have just had a small order with a 0.6 pip stop, and I didn't. So that's where I got triggered. Obviously, we take the lows, and from there, you know, you can kind of just see how I played this out. I took some partials. And then you can kind of see, you know, I took partials when we came into this area right here. This was the first area I want to take partials at a 1 to 15, a 1 to 22 when we came in here. I partialed out when we came into here at 1 to 47. And I think it's currently sitting, or it was sitting at a 1 to 59. Had I taken that tighter entry over here, it was a 1 to 326. So yeah, if I would have taken this one here, it would have been a 1 to 326. You know, I didn't see it. I mean, I had it, I couldn't put it too much together. So how much did I take with, what do you mean off of this? I was just taking 25% volume across the board. So yeah, I've got one order left. And I'm going to start siphoning that order out as we get down to, you know, down to the H4 low. So that was CAD-J. You know, I'll be honest, like I have no idea what I want to do with CAD-J now for a reentry. I mean, we just melted out of the table. I was looking for a reentry out of this 15, and it's also a 5-minute candle in here. We've got the Asian high still intact up here, but I seriously doubt we're going to be able to come all the way back up. You know, so ideally what I'm going to be looking for is, you know, maybe we get up into like this area right here. You know, I really don't know where I'm going to look for that second entry. So, but that was CAD-J. And then GJ, you know, GJ, yeah, if you guys are on Instagram, you saw I've got a ton of orders on GJ. So GJ was just super clean. You know, we had the, you know, for those of you guys, you know, I talk about tunnel vision, you know, like if you're just stuck here and you're thinking, you're just looking at this, you think this was a reaccumulation. But I actually ended up getting a really nice entry out of here based off of the 80% to the left. And then obviously this is a distribution on its own. Ended up taking a second, I had a second entry here that ended up breaking even, and then took a third entry out of the a seconds time frame schematic that happened up here. And then from there, this was probably the easiest play right here. You know, you have your distro, you have a redistribution that happens in here. You know, Asian sweep, right? Nothing lasts in Asian. We break. And then I had two entries, 80 and 50. The 50 gets popped. The 80 gets, you know, as soon as we break the low, gets deleted. So, you know, when it came to GJ was really nice. What sessions do I use again? All right. So if you go back and watch any of the last 150 Zoom calls that I've done on YouTube, I guarantee you in the first 5 minutes, there's at least 5-6 other people that do it. Yeah, you'll just see it's sessions on the chart. All right. How did you determine the first, this entry right here? This entry was based out of this right here. So if you go back and you just back test this, first of all, it's the 1 hour candle, right? It was the 1 hour candle. And then if you just go back into it, you'll see. So you had, not only did you have the type 1, right? But you also had a type 2 here, and then you had the redistro here. And that's what I took it out of, this redistro. I had a split order. I had one out of the extreme and then one out of the redistro. So yeah, you'll see. And yeah, it was a pretty clean entry. Yeah.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead.
Quick question for you on the minor sign of weakness. Can it come after the ST, after the UTAD, or is there any specific that you would rather see come after?
It really doesn't matter to me. As long as it comes before the UTAD, that's all I care about. Right? Because I want the commit. I want to see evidence that sellers are in control. So this to me, right? This to me was key. You know, I wanted to see that. That showed me that out of this distribution here, that there's a willingness to take this lower.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, most of you guys know how I trade. I don't like type 2 schematics. I know a lot of you guys like to take type twos because I see it all the time. You know, you'll see, okay, it's a breakup structure and you'll take a type two, but you know, my journal tells me don't do that because you're going to take a lot of losses. So if it works for you, great. If not, I'm waiting for the type one. A video on how to take, wait, Mike, do you have a video on how to set up the calculator for taking partials? No, but if you downloaded the calculator, there's a video in there on how to do it. There's like 3 videos. One of them is how to use the calculator. So yeah. All right, I'm all caught up. All caught up. Cool. Yeah. So that, I mean, that was pretty much, you know, GJ. And I mean, you can see I'm pretty much I'm happy with it. I've got 4 total orders. You know, I've got, what is it? So I've partialed out, you know, at a 1 to 30, a 1 to 46, and a 1 to 89. It's currently sitting at a 1 to 121. This one, you know, obviously taking the 3 partials down. I partialed out. The last one was a 1 to 100. And this one was sitting at a 1 to 138. And then this last one here is sitting at a 1 to 40. And I secured these partials here. And then I'm still holding from this extreme down up here. And that's at a 1 to 46. So, you know, I'm happy with GJ. Same thing. Like, I really don't, you know, I was hoping that I get something maybe out of this redistribution over here. I really have no idea. This thing, it literally just collapsed. So what I may end up doing is just wait for it to make a new H4 low. I mean, this is where we're coming. You know what I mean? So I'm going to hold the remaining orders when we get down in here, you know, maybe around like 148, 500. That's where I'll secure my partials. And honestly, I'll probably just call it a month and pick trading back up, you know, maybe October 1st. Because I mean, I made, you know, my 0.25% risk, you know, I'm up a little over 13% just on GJ. So, you know, we'll see how it plays out. The only yen cross, you know, if you guys are in IM, you were on Zach's session. I mean, I posted this. The only yen cross that I'm personally looking at taking still a buy on is going to be Chef JPY. And, you know, the whole reason, if you look at why the yen is appreciating, if you just go to the currency indexes, right? Just take a look at the yen on the 4-hour. You know, we've tapped in to this candle right here. All right. This candle is ultimately what gave us this push. All of this was just nonsense. Right. So we have pushed into this candle right here. I don't know if we've actually come into like 80% of it though. Hold on. Let's just see. Oh, son of a bitch. Well, all right, there you go. Yeah. So anybody want to ask why I still do the 80%? So we came in and you can kind of see, I mean, there is a lower time frame accumulation that happened in here, and you already see I'm waiting for this to be a reaccumulation. I've got my alert here. I'm waiting for that to pop up, get the reaccumulation, and let this puppy go up. So that's why we're seeing yen crosses just fall out of the sky. Now on the, you know, on the Swiss franc side, you can kind of just see what's going on with the Swiss franc. You know, we had reaccumulation, a distro, came down into an accumulation, we broke some order flow, and now, you know, we're kind of just seeing what's happening here, but I'm expecting this to strengthen as well, especially what's going on like fundamentally in the world. I'm seeing a lot of money. If you look at the COT reports, a lot of big money is flooding back into safe havens. You know, so with that in mind, you know, what I'm looking for is Chef JPY is actually the only yen cross, I think, right as of now, it's the only yen cross that is still maintaining bullishness on the higher time frame, bullishness on the intraday, bullish on the lower time frame. Right. So, you know, we had a really nice reaccumulation in here. You know, we tapped into demand. We have a really nice 1, 2, 3 drive with a break of structure, and you know, we're accumulating inside of the area that I was looking at. Right. So out of this accumulation, you know, ultimately this is where I'm going to be taking an entry out of. You know, I won't set the limit until I go to bed. I don't want this to come anywhere close to this during Asian session, but I'm going to be looking to take an entry out of here. You know, my stop loss is about 6 pips, And, my targets, you can kind of see my first target's going to be to come into this redistro. My second's going to be coming into this area of supply. And then overall, I'm just going to be taking this up to a new H4 high. That's what you're looking at on UJ. Are you looking for the buy that looks too obvious? And in my opinion, I don't think is going to work, but yeah, we'll take a look at it. Let's see. Yeah. Yep. All I'm going to say is good luck with that. I'm not going to be taking a buy out of UJ there. I potentially, I'll tell you right now, like if we get an accumulation in there and I can take a tight entry with that, possibly, but yeah, we'll look at it. Yeah, we'll look at it. I don't know if you guys can hear me crunching my ice, but it's for my throat. Sorry. Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking, for me, it's like the 600-minute candle. This whole thing is the 600-minute. This is where I'm going to be looking. It's the 10-hour. So if you just go to the 10-hour, but the 600, like 610, something like that, that's the full volume candle, right? That's what I'm looking to play. And then if you get down in the 5-minute, you'll see that there is a reaccumulation that happens in there. So, for me, the way I'm going to play it is, this ultimately is our spring. We engulf it and come back into 50% of it. So I'm going to take a little bit of risk, put my stop loss below that wick. I'm going to play out of this reaccumulation first. And if not, maybe I'll catch an accumulation lower if I get stopped out. So that's how I'm going to play Chef JPY. For me, like I said, we've got the accumulation. And, I'll be taking partials as we get up in here, but I do like how this is playing out. All right. So that's Chef JPY. Again, I'm bullish on this, and I want to get up and I want to take out this new high, right? I mean, we're talking, ideally from where I want to take it from, we're talking about a 330 pip move. So we'll see if it plays out. Recapping on EA. So not much with me on EA. I'm still holding this order here. I'm guessing you're saying that you took it out of here, right? Okay. Yeah, for me, I'm bullish on this. I mean, I really have no intention of trying to, actually you can see my order right up here, crossing the new high. I'm actually waiting for this to happen. I'm waiting for it to pop up, break structure. So now we're back intraday and lower time frame being bullish. And then I want to get an entry out of here. This is kind of what I want to get into. I'm expecting the Australian dollar to continue to weaken, and we'll see how it plays out. I mean, don't close. Listen, if you're a break even, don't close it. Because this, for me, my entire idea is hell bent on this thing getting popped. If it doesn't and we come lower, then you're golden. You're going to get some massive profits out of it. But for me, we're intraday is still bullish. All we had was a lower time frame, and if you look at it from this aspect, this right here could be a massive distro. This could be your buying climax to your AR. This could be your secondary test to your MSAL. So what would happen next? My up thrust, right? So I would be expecting this to come higher. So, yeah, like I'm not ready yet to sell euro odd, especially not off of a lower time frame break. Nothing about this. From my risk assessment, nothing about this is telling me weakness. Like when we look at it from here, let me hide all this. Nothing about this is telling me weakness. So, I'm expecting us to get one more push up. That's how I'm going to play it. What sources did I use to learn Wyckoff? So I guess I started, Zach McDonald was probably my first mentor in Wyckoff from Trade House. And then from there, I got into a bunch of books. I can tell you Jesse Livermore and we'll start with Ruben Villamosa's book first, and then get into Jesse Livermore. Jesse Livermore did a bunch of books on Richard Wyckoff himself. That's probably where I got a bunch of information from. The rest of it was a mixture of going through a mentorship, through a mentor who truly understood Wyckoff. I did that for about 12 weeks, and then everything else was just kind of like self-taught and self-back tested, and my rules and stuff are just everything that I've kind of compiled. You keep getting on the wrong side of the market. Listen, so what would you say your winning percentage is? %30 at the moment. Okay. So what you're saying is you're losing 70% of your trades. So all kidding aside, I might just, you may just want to do one of two things: either invert your chart. Maybe you'll see the market better that way. That's honestly, I used to see accumulations a whole lot better than distributions. So invert your chart, or listen, when in doubt, when you're putting a buy limit, just throw a sell limit in there. If you're if you're losing 70% of your trades, if you do just the opposite, you're going to win 70% of your thing. Failed distribution is a thing now. A failed distribution is a thing now. A failed distribution is just a reaccumulation. No. So yeah. Yeah, it is, if, but I would venture to say that, well, I'll tell you this, like obviously my first couple of months, and you can, maybe I'll see if Zach wants to do, especially because there's a lot of new people on his session. I'll see if Zach wants to do maybe just like a day of just Q&A or something like that. And I mean, I'll bring up some of my old charts I used to send Zach like 2 years ago. And yeah, I mean, my first couple of months, I was horrible. I was all over the place. I just didn't give up because I wanted to make sure I knew what was going on. Right. Can I take a look at AU? I will look at AU. If you're looking for sells on AU, I think you're in the right direction. So who was my mentorship for Wyckoff? So my trading partner and I actually found, it was through my trading partner. We found a mentor that we, I'll tell you right now, it wasn't cheap. It was not cheap, but it was well worth it. So I'll tell you this, it took me an entire month of trading a very large account to come up with to offset the cost of that mentorship. So what's your take on people trading more than 2 or 3 pairs? I trade more than 2 or 3 pairs, man. Like for me, it's not, I'm definitely not a scalper. So I will, here's an example, GJ, right? I waited waited like 30 days or something like that to get into a GJ sell. How long did I wait on this? How long did I wait? So I waited 16 days for my first entry. And then I waited 12 days for my second, so if I only trade 2 pairs, say I only trade GJ and like EU. Well, if EU is in the same boat, guess what? I didn't trade for 12 days. So, for me, I'll trade whatever, as long as it's the right setup. That's ultimately how I like it. And everything is based off like a higher time frame bias, and I'll refine the entry getting down lower. Can I look at NZD CAD on a 15-minute accumulation? We can, but if you're asking me, would I be looking for a buy on a 15-minute accumulation during Asian session on NZD CAD when it failed to make a new high? My answer would probably be no. It's showing signs of weakness, but we'll look at it. Yeah, we'll look at it. And take on ACAD, it missed my sell opportunity. That's my take on ACAD. Yeah, we'll get into it. All right. So anyway, just getting back to it, like on EA, I'm waiting for this high up here. If we get the high, then obviously I'm going to be playing out of this area, and my target area that I'm going to be looking for an accumulation is going to be, just measure this entire move between 50 and 80 of it. I want to see an accumulation, just because the limit order the risk is just way too big. We're talking like, I think at one point, if it's off the 50, it's something like a 40 something pip stop, and that's just ridiculous. Okay. All right, so GA. So last week I talked about, I really wasn't interested because of how I saw everything playing out over here. I really wasn't interested in this distribution to hedge anymore, right? I'm obviously holding buys from down here. So the minute I kind of saw this type 2 accumulation happening here, and you can kind of see your creek, right? I fully expect, just like EA, I fully expect GA to pop up. I really wasn't interested, especially seeing the price action, the time this price action was happening. For me, this is ultimately going to be a reaccumulation, and is it? Yeah. So I've already got my alert set. If in fact we do that, obviously this is going to be now what's maintaining our leg, right? Ideally something like that. And we can see that a lot of this has already been mitigated. So I would be drawing my attention to like this area right here. Something in here is where I'd be looking for an accumulation. And at that point, when we do this break, then we come back to, we're already intraday and higher time frame bullish. At this point, lower time frame, and in reality, we're not even bearish on the lower time frame. We'll just make a new high, because lower time frame is still being maintained from down here. Let's see. Why would you mark it as a distro if you think it's going to be a reaccumulation? Because I can think all day long, right, that it's going to be a reaccumulation, but right now, what is it? It's a distro. Right. So I'm going to mark it as a distro, because when I marked this up, when I marked it up, we were here. We were that when I marked it up. And then what I wanted to do was I wanted to hedge my position, because I'm in buys from down here. I wanted to catch a hedge out of here to come lower. So like, when was this? This was August, the 2nd, the 3rd. Yeah. So like, let's see, August the 2nd, where is GA? GA August the 2nd. Oh, geez, I have like 15. All right, I won't go through all of them. But yeah, so I started marking this up, looking for that. And then obviously when I started to see evidence of an accumulation down in this area here, and we just failed to, obviously I think some people I know took some sells out of here, but what did it do? It just never broke the low, right? Never broke the low. And now we have a clear creek, we have an accumulation. So a distribution into an accumulation with the jump of the creek. What's next? Break of structure. And I'll be changing this down to here for a reaccumulation. So yeah. So when would you, oh yeah, hopefully that answered it. Yeah. Yep. Reaccumulation's a failed distro. Absolutely. Yep. So for me, I need two things, right? I need the jack to jump across the creek, and I need a break of structure or a new high, right? So we'll get that right here. When this alert goes off, that's when I know. So if you would start again in IM, which educator would you focus on? Zach McDonald. Yeah, without a doubt. Yep, that's the book, Wyckoff Methodology in Depth. Yep, by Ruben Villahermosa. Yeah, start with that book. It's a little bit of a hard read because it was written in Spanish and translated, but that's going to be the basis of it. So now in the event, highly unlikely, but in the event that this does not break the high, I am still looking down here, right? I still have my eyes right here for my buy. That's where I'm looking. All right. Yeah, wait, let's see. It did break structure though, so wouldn't you sell off that UTAD? Wait, hold on. It did break structure. Yeah, it did here. Right. Yeah, that's what. So when we were here, right, when price did this and broke, I had a sell limit here to hedge. And then we dropped, and then we started doing this. And at that point, I'm done. I'm done with the hedge. It's no longer a viable option for me. I mean, I don't know, those of you guys that are in my group, right? Like we I guess probably around here, right, is where I was saying I'm done with this. Maybe like 2 weeks ago, I was like, I'm done with the distro. For me, it's not worth it anymore. I would rather just wait for it to reaccumulate. And I'm glad I did, because I mean, just think about it. We've been in this area now, in this range, for 21 days, right? 21 days of absolutely no interest in moving this market for GA that typically moves a lot, you know? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Perfect example. You got it, bro. It is, remember in a bearish market, right? In a bearish market, because you're in a distro, what do you want to see? You want to see new lower lows. And what are we getting? We're getting lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, right? So we are essentially doing this, right? It's not something you want to see in a bearish market, right? So yeah, yeah, you just got to think of it like that. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. Who's in control? And at this point, if this was the attempt for sellers to be in control, and now we have an accumulation, right, into a reaccumulation right here, right? Because here's your 1, 2, 3 drive. Here's your 1, 2, 3 drive. Here's your creek. We have confirmed, right, a reaccumulation out of here. I know this drawing kind of looks horrible, but here, I'll try to clean it up. So you have an accumulation. You have a distro turned, right? Because you have 1 drive, 2 drive. You've jumped the creek. So you've jumped the creek and you've broken structure. So you have an accumulation demand. You've mitigated out of demand. You've had a reaccumulation, and now you're heading for this distro. What are the chances, being in a bullish higher time frame, bullish lower time frame, bullish intraday, that this is going to hold? And in my opinion, not very much. So yeah. How long have I been in GA? So I haven't been crazy long. What is this? This is maybe like a month. Where is it at? Oh, it's out of here. Hold on. It's so I got in July 7th. So a little over a month is when I've been in. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. The distro hasn't done anything, and just because I see a distro, hold on. Yeah. Just because I see a distro doesn't mean, ooh, let me sell this thing. Right. I mean, just look at it from a 4-hour. What part of this, let me ask you, what part of this is screaming weakness, right? What part of this, just follow what it's doing, right? I mean, we are literally just making highs, ever so slowly, but when GA gets like a hair up its butt, it definitely starts to engage and get some movement going. So, that's kind of what I'll say on GA. Like I'm still looking for bullishness. I've been bullish on this thing since January. Go back and look at all the. Have you looked at GN yet? No, I haven't looked at GN yet. And I'll be honest, nothing really on GN that is close for me to even, look at it at an entry. So, but we'll take a look. It's on my primary. All right. But so yeah, it's, what was it this morning? I think I said to a bunch of guys, I go, I'd be willing to take a wager that EJ, the low, was going to get taken on EJ. It was EJ. What was the other one? Oh, and then Pound Swiss franc. I was pretty adamant that we were going to see new lows on it. Just seeing price action, seeing how we've come into it, and seeing again who's in control. Sellers are not relinquishing that control. So why am I trying to get into a position against the trend on it? So we talked about GJ, nothing really. Now GU is something that just really irritated me. So unfortunately, where I wanted to sell GU from, it just happened way too late in the day on Friday. It is what it is. I was looking for that opportunity. And when we kind of cleaned this up, so if you guys go back to where I wanted to see price come into, it was right here. Now I wasn't going to set a limit order, simply, this is, hold on. Yeah. Well, it looks like it would have missed my order, so not too bad. It would have missed, well, I don't know, man, because it was a buy, so I would have put the spread in. Actually, Did this move? Because this is the 50% right there. Did it trigger on the 50? Did you get into this, Ryan, or no? You got to be kidding me. Well, I don't know. I don't think I would have been triggered. I mean, I probably would have been triggered, but yeah, I don't know. What was this risk on it? I think 6 pips. So 6 pips and I'd be up like 15. Yeah. All right. So it'd be like a 2-to-1. Oh, I got you. Yeah. Yeah. It just happened way too late. So, I'm anticipating that this is going to be the bounce that we're going to get. And I'm going to be looking for another sell out of here. This is where I want to see us come up to and then sell off. We'll see if we can get it. My point of interest is going to be specifically this 5-minute candle right here. So, I've got my alert right here at the Asian highs. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play a schematic if we get one. If we get a schematic in there, I'll take it. On holding, let's see, opinion on holding trades. Does the commission you pay, does it bother me? So it depends on how long, and like you can look at what your swap fee is going to be. If the swap fee is going to be stupid, then maybe it's not worth it, right? But let's put it into perspective, right? Here, hold on. Right? No income claims, all the standard, mumbo jumbo. All right. So let me just put it into perspective. So let's look at GJ, right? So on GJ right now, I've been holding GJ since Thursday and Friday, right? And on GJ, my swap fee is I've paid $82.94 on one order, right? Because I have a couple orders. So $82.93 on one order, but I have in profit $4,490 on this specific order. So is it worth for me to hold the swap? Yes. It's, yeah. And not only that, but if you do it right and you have a business that like me, I'm a full-time trader. So I have my own I'm my own employee of my own business. I write off my swap fees and commission fees, right? At the end of the year, when I have to do my taxes in the US, I write those off. So yeah. So hopefully that answers it. Yeah. I'll tell you right now, I don't shy away. I don't shy away from I'm not going to close a trade out because of a commission fee. So, let's see. Okay. Yep. Oh yeah. You can write all these fees off, man. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. All right. So hopefully that answers it. But yeah, I'm looking, this box in here is where I'm looking for a next selling opportunity on GU. I was pretty, I think like last week, the week before, I was pretty adamant that we were going to see a bounce out of here. Not something I was going to set a limit order on, especially not late afternoon New York session. So, what was the educator in the book? One more time. Yeah. So if you're an IM, Zach McDonald, he comes on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, 5 p.m. Eastern time. He's part of Trade House. And the book started with Ruben Villamosa is the author, and it's called Wyckoff Methodologies in Depth. And then he's got Wyckoff 2.0 as his second book. So paying fees and then getting hit break even, it's frustrating. Yeah, but like I said, don't focus on just that one trade. I mean, listen, I'll tell you right now. So on my large account, last year when I did my taxes, right? So for 2020, I paid in commission and in swap fees what most people have in their entire broker account. All right. So yeah, it was, I'll tell you right now, it it was mid 5 figures is what I paid in commission and swap fees. So, but I got to write it off. So that's it. That, you know, that unfunded liability that I had in my taxes got cut in like three quarters of it was cut away because I can write off those commission and swap fees. So let's see. How long did you paper trade until you went live? So I would say it was in between like 12 and 18 weeks. But I had set goals that I wanted to see. I wanted 100 trades of data. So in my journal, so I can start building my trading plan. And then once I had the trading plan set and I had my rules, then I did, you know, another 100 trades. So I would say in total, it wasn't so much time, but it was more trades. Like I wanted to get, you know, in the neighborhood of 2 to 250 trades. You know, that way I can get the data. I can see, all right, what sessions to avoid, what time the entries, what time frames, you know, what kind of entries. So, you know, for me, it was all about the information. Let's see. I'm just not getting the consistency. Yep. Yeah. Don't be in a rush to lose money. You know, be consistent with monopoly money before you throw out real equity out there, you know. And here's just my take, you know, like I know a lot of people are in a rush to put $250 into your account, right? So let's just say you risk 1%. All right, so you're risking $2.50 on your trade and you made a 1 to 10, right? Realistically, is $25 is that gonna set you free? No, it's not. You know, so get consistent on a demo account, jump into a prop trading account where you're trading, you know, 100K account. And if you want to risk 1%, you want to risk $1,000 and you catch a 1 to 10, that's $10,000. You know, you walk away with, you know, if you're, you know, trading like prop trading, it's 80%. So you walk away with $8,000, right? That $8,000 is way better than 25. So don't be in a rush to trade a live account, you know, get consistent. You know, I'll tell you right now, like when I, you know, if you haven't heard, like, you know, I got to 6 figures trading retail. I got to 6 figures trading break and retest, but it was honestly because of my discipline. Once I started getting into Wyckoff, you know, I would say for a good solid 6 months, I really didn't trade any value of my money. You know, like, you know, I did this stupid little $250 account just to see. And then I said, what am I doing? Get rid of this. Let me trade 100K demo, you know, and then once I was ready to really get back into it, you know, move all of my large, you know, my funds that I had in my broker account, move it to a reputable broker. And then I started trading it. And then of course, you know, I started getting into some of the prop firms because for me, it was just, it was safe security money. And that's how I wanted to play it. You know, but don't be in a rush to lose money, right? No, you know, you guys have heard me say, would you risk $1 million on that trade? Because if you're not going to risk $1 million on that trade, don't take the trade. All right. All right. Let's see. Ruben and Villamosa. There you go. You got it, bro. In your opinion, GU on the daily bullish? On the daily, like the higher time frame? Yes. GU is bullish on the higher time frame. We're bearish on the intraday and we're bearish on the lower time frame. So like if we just look at the, right, this break right here, when we broke this right here, this was the break, right? This was my intraday break because we traded a couple of pips above this high. So, and then what do we just do? So this is the leg on the lower time frame that we broke here. But what do? We just tapped into this redistro. So because we failed to invalidate supply, like I'm still looking for bearishness on this. You know, like I'm in this trade here. You know, I took a lot of partials when we broke that high, but I honestly foresee us doing this and just keep falling on GU. All right. All right. Let's see on my Forex ones. You know, honestly, I know nothing about my Forex ones, so I can't tell you, man. When Sango comes back from vacation, he should be back pretty soon. Sango did a whole workup on all these prop firms. So why don't I trade around September? So October 1 is the new fiscal year for banks. So They're required by law to have all their Form 4s turned into the SEC. So just think about if you are a trader and you had to get all of your journals and all of your paperwork in by September 30th, when would you personally stop trading? Right. So, one of my mentors was an institutional trader. So, he gave me, this is something obviously that makes sense, but, majority of traders stop trading right around the middle of the month. So it gives them a solid 2 weeks to get all their paperwork in. And that's where you see the drop off in volatility. So the markets just go sideways the last 2 weeks of September. And then of course, October 1 comes and, everyone's got their new portfolios. So game is back on. Yeah. So, can you go through legs and structure and mitigation? Oh crap. Yeah, I mean, like when yeah, we'll yeah, you got it, man. Who mentored me? Yeah, I mean, he was a institutional trader for Citigroup. He traded, what was he? I think 12 and a half years total. And he spent 8 of those years trading Euro USD for Citigroup. Yeah. How relevant is it COT to Wyckoff? Very relevant, right? Because think about it. What a schematic is institutional order flow, right? That's, me and you, my 12 lots, right, isn't forming a schematic, right? The schematic's being formed by what? By institutional order flow. So if institutions are pulling out of certain assets and instruments, you're not going to see the schematic, right? So just remember the COT reports are delayed. So, you're never going to be able to access, current COT reports. Can you identify where GU is bullish for on the legs, like on the higher time frame? Higher time frame, GU is bullish from. So we broke right here, right? So this is what's maintaining our leg on the higher time frame. On the intraday, right? On the intraday, we broke here. So on the intraday, we're bearish, but on the higher time frame, we're bullish. So, and of course, we tapped into supply here. That's why I was starting to look for sells. My opinion is we're coming for this area right in here. This is where we're coming because this entire area here is going to be our slingshot that causes the break. So, and then of course on the lower time frame, we could just see the legs on the lower time frame. You could see ultimately let's see. Yeah, so ultimately this was our last leg right here, this push down. So when we broke that, we became bullish. However, what do you see? We've got a distro into a redistro into a bunch of failed accumulations. So, at this point, I'm looking to see what we do here. If this holds up, great. If not, I think it's going to fall through. Yeah. Okay. So we talked about UChef already, right? Did we talk about UChef? No, I guess we didn't talk about UChef. All right, so UChef, I'm looking for a buy on UChef. And it's pretty self-explanatory, massive accumulation out of here way back in December, right? We broke this structure leg. We come back into what? An area of demand. We accumulate. Out of that accumulation, what do? We come up, we break some lower time frame structure. We have a distribution, right? Market cycle. We have a distribution into a redistribution into an accumulation that comes in. Now, obviously, I wanted it to come a little lower. It decided not to come that low, but we have an accumulation that does what? That breaks and invalidates demand from here, or I'm sorry, supply from here. So when we traded above this right in here, we've invalidated supply. So now I'm looking down here, right? So for me, these orders are set. I'm looking pretty clean schematic. I'm looking out of the 249 minute, which is also the 44 minute 80%. And then if you really just dive into the price action down here, this 5-minute candle, you'll also see a micro schematic in here, right? So do I have this set? Yeah, hold on. There we go. So this 5-minute candle is going to be like the last area I'm going to be looking at. When you felt stuck in your trading progress, what would you do to get to that next step? Don't force anything, and take a break. There's sometimes that I will take a break as well. I'll get out of last week was a great example. Like, even though I took a couple trades, I wanted to get out and do something, so we did it. Like, get your mindset right. If your mindset's not in the game, you're just going to be in that OODA loop. You're just going to be doing the same shenanigans over and over and over again. So one of the key things for me, though, is if I wasn't finding consistency, the main thing I needed to find was why. Why was I continuing to lose trades? And try to find those answers. And that's the biggest thing. And of course, it was a little easier, in the very beginning for me, because me and my trading partner had a mentor that, all right, so, here's my chart. What the heck was I doing wrong? And, the feedback I would get from that was extremely beneficial, so, that's, I guess that's where a lot of people, when I first started trading, I didn't have a mentor. And I'll tell you right now, the value of that in itself, to have somebody give you the answer that, otherwise you'd be banging your head against the wall, is pretty important. So, let's see, when we create accumulation after distribution, we ignore the accumulation on the upside. No, not necessarily. Yeah, not necessarily. It all depends where you are in structure, so just remember, if I don't know how more I can say the market cycle. We have waves, right? Accumulation starts out as a distro, but turns into what? A reaccumulation, gets up to a distro. That distro then turns into an accumulation, which is a redistro, so that we can get back into the accumulation. Accumulation into a distro that turns what? Into a reaccumulation, so we can get up to the distro. You just got to follow the market cycle. All right. Was that Zach what? My mentor? Well, it started out with Zach. Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, like, I give Zach a lot of credit, because he did give a lot of feedback on some of my charts. But then there was a point where, I definitely, started to excel in certain areas that, I felt I needed someone to give me a little more one-on-one. And that's where I reached out and found my mentor. So, yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, anyway, chef, this is where I'm looking. I mean, it's a pretty simple, easy type 4 schematic, definitely clear break of structure. I like the fact, again, not only did we break structure, but we've exited the trading range. We had a sign of strength. So I'm going to be looking, as we get down in here, eventually, I want to see us play in here, right? That's where I'm going to be looking on chef. And that's why, if you look at what US dollars JPY did today, something similar JPY did today. Yeah, I'm still like, I'm not buying chef out of here. Like, I'm waiting for us to come down here. And I still see that happening. Yeah, cool. The other thing, this has been pending for a minute, is Euro GBP. A wise man has been saying for a very long time, right, that Euro GBP has been bearish. And for me, this was our leg, and all of this was just noise until we made a new low. When we made a new low, now this is what maintains my intraday. Coming out of this is my extreme, right? This is my extreme that I want to play out of here. And when we get up into this area, that's where I'm going to be selling from. All right. We're a ways from it, but that order is set. The only way that order is going to get invalidated is if we do something like this and then make a new low. So everyone's been trying to buy EG. I don't know why. For me, I've just been waiting, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. It sucks because I did get some sells out of here, but it just took way too long, and obviously when I'm in a point where, the market is taking forever to move, I don't want to use my margin up in that instance, so yeah. But so USD, Swiss franc, and EG are the only two real pending orders I have currently. So now let's get into this, right? Let's get into, the watch list, what else I'm looking at. So for me, the key that I'm going to be looking at is I need us to break this low. So hold on. I just got to set my alert. All right. So, for, again, all these yen crosses, what I'm waiting on is I just want to see us, we're almost there, and I'm pretty confident that we're going to make this new low. Hold on. I can delete this because this is lower time frame. So, what do we have? We have a distribution into a redistribution. And as soon as we make this low, what I'm going to be looking for is another selling opportunity out of here. This is going to be the extreme. If we can get up into this area here, I'm going to be looking for another push down, right? How do you know which POIs are more likely to hold? Ask yourself what the POI did. If the POI did nothing, then chances are that POI is not going to hold. If that POI is responsible for something, right, and you can see that it holds supplier demand in there, then I would venture to say that is going to be a more of a realistic point of interest that is going to hold and have a reaction from. Okay. So on AJ, I'm looking, just look at the market cycle. Look at what AJ's been doing, right? Ever since we broke this low, we've had distribution, redistro, we had an accumulation into a distro, into an accumulation, a reaccumulation, into a distro that tapped into supply, into a redistribution, into an accumulation that comes into a distribution, into another push. We get an accumulation into a distro, into a redistro. So I'm expecting an accumulation back up so that I can sell from here and continue lower, right? Just follow the market cycle. So for me, it's just a matter of waiting. You can see I've got my alert right over here. This is where I want to see us come back into so that I can turn around and sell this bad boy. AJ, now NJ isn't as clean. I prefer AJ, but we'll see. And tomorrow night we do have some news. So hopefully like the next 24 hours, we do this, come up here, and maybe with that news, we can get a spike into where I want to sell from. Why I won't take the UJ buy? Yeah, when we get to it. When we get to it, man. Yep. So, okay. So AU now, AU is a bastard. That's what AU was. So, obviously, wait, see, would you have gone where you need to be without, I think it just sped it along. I think I was pretty determined to understand this. I was also really passionate about, putting in the work for it. I would say, like I said, it was definitely easier having a mentor who I spent, me and my partner would spend on a Zoom call Monday through Friday. We'd spend 4 hours on a Zoom call, him going over like education, learning what we need to learn. And then once we got off the Zoom call, marking up charts, back testing, sending him our information, and then getting it, the feedback and critique from it. So if you think about it, like I was putting in 40 to 60 hours of work, for a solid 12 weeks. So that definitely sped up the learning curve. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Can I look at NAS? I mean, I can. Yeah, we can. So AU, I was looking for the distro here. Obviously we didn't get it. So what we ended up getting, and I don't know why this says read distro, it should be a distro. There we go. So what we ended up getting was an accumulation into a distro. You know what? I know why. Okay. So into a distro, that's why. So we got into a distro, into a redistro right here. So, okay. So where I was looking for my selling opportunity was going to be out of actually this LPSY right here. And you could see it missed by like 4 pips. So no harm, no foul. It is what it is. I missed some trades. So now where I'm going to be looking, obviously you could see we made a new low, right? We made a new low on AU. Let's do this. There we go. So we made a new low on AU. And now my main focus is going to be on 2 points, right? Let me clean this up. I'm going to be looking specifically in, so this is all Asian. This is Asian here. So I'm going to be looking in this area, like right up here. This is going to be my main focal point for, and I guess I can put this right here. There we go. So this is going to be my main focal point of where I want to take this entry out of, right? We have our attempted accumulation that happens here, right? There's our ICE. And then ultimately, this is what causes this break, right? So this is the cause. I'm not interested in taking a slingshot here because this is Asian price action. So, and I you know, you guys know I can't stand Asian price action. So, you know, I'm going to be looking around this 73,700 area. You know, ideally, you know, I'll tell you this, like I'll be looking for a potential area where I can put a limit order in. I just got to find the candle, you know. Yeah, I've got to find the candle. Let's see, we got 1250, 1250, 1280. Yeah, I'm going to look at this all like later. I'm not going to waste too much time because we're a ways from it, but I'll be looking for the full volume candle, you know, so that I can start working in and playing out of how I want to do this. So we'll see. But without a doubt, you know, this is the area that I want to really target. You know, even something as simple as, you know, maybe even like this 20 minutes, something in here. You know, depending on what is still available in here, you know, I'll have to break it down. But we have time, you know, like this isn't something that's going to happen relatively soon. This is probably end of week, you know, we're talking, yeah, over 100 pips. So that's what I'm looking on AU. EJ, right? EJ was on the list. This morning I was pretty adamant that EJ was going to take this low, especially how, you know, how I saw everything happening, right? You know, why was I pretty adamant that we were going to, you know, take this low? Because you have an accumulation that did absolutely nothing. It couldn't even break this high, right? So you have an accumulation that comes into a distribution. This distribution should have been a reaccumulation that causes the break. Instead, what do? We accumulate into a distribution and we just sell off. So in my opinion, like why would I be looking for a buying opportunity after we just had an accumulation? You know, and I know, because I know that there's some people that were, you know, that were looking at it coming into the extreme, right? That was coming into the extreme. Well, here's my one, you know, advice. If you just had a massive accumulation in here and price is going to come down 10 pips to come into the extreme, you know, I would definitely wait for price to give you evidence of being bullish. And all we're doing here is just walking this down, especially coming out of this massive distribution. So, you know, I was at no point was I at any given, you know, moment going to be taking a buy out of here, especially I know because I saw a lot of people were looking at this like lower time frame accumulation in here. And for me, this was a mess. I said it this morning that this to me is a mess. You know, if this was my climax, this secondary test, and then just look how this lingers. Look at like this this is not something I wanted to see. So, you know, for me, what ended up happening is price just did what? Price made a new low and tapped into supply and made a new low from there. So, you know, I was pretty clear that I didn't want to take this morning with everybody. I was like, I didn't want to take anything out of EJ. You know, I had no desire whatsoever. So, you know, and it looked, again, disorganized. It looked, you know, and forget what you think you want to see, right? Forget what you think you want to see. Just look at it here. Let's look at it from like the 1 hour. You know, when we look at what's happened here, follow the market, right? Distro, redistro, accumulation to a distro, into a redistro, into a accumulation that can't do anything, into another accumulation that can't do anything. And then look at the massive selling pressure out of here. You know, so when I start to see all of this, you know, the likelihood of something happening here, not so good, right? It's a little different when, you know, when you're looking at it from a different angle. You know, look at how we reacted out of here. We had an accumulation that went into a reaccumulation. Out of that reaccumulation, just massive reaccumulations. You know, there wasn't a lot of buying strength or buying interest when we were coming into this area. Okay. That's EJ. You know, I talked about EA, EN. I'm really not favoring EN because you could see on EN, I need us to come and break this high here, right? All of this at this point is kind of just order flow, right? We broke lower time frame structure. And I really want to see what happens. Like this accumulation here, I wasn't too happy with. You know, did we tap into this area here? Yeah, we did. You know, we did tap into demand. It did come in really nicely into it. But before I start looking for buys on EN, I want to see us finally break some kind of, you know, resistance. You know, this is, to me, this is a trap in the making up here. You know, I'm sure this is going to top over. But it also could be just a massive distribution. You know, what do we notice? We are making lower lows, right? So what do you got, bro? On EN. You took a sell out of here? Is that what you're doing? You took a sell out of here? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good job, man. Yeah. Yeah. I'm, yeah, I honestly just wasn't trying to catch anything on EN out of it. But you have, I mean, you have your clean distro, you know, the distribution here causes the redistro that then breaks the low. So when you come into it, this is what's maintaining this arrow right here. This is what's maintaining lower time frame structure. So yeah, you know, pretty clean play, pretty clean play. Why does imbalance have to be filled? You know, the best answers you're going to get out of that, man, is just, if you haven't gone through the bounce back boot camp, I would definitely do it. So what's the Asian indicator? Rewind all the way to the beginning of the video. It's in there, man. Yeah, you know, but yeah, for me, I'm not too interested in doing anything with EN at this point. Like this has just been massively sideways. You know, we're talking, so since May, realistically since May, we've been just sideways, you know, and this could be just a massive distribution. So what's my YouTube channel? You can just search Fibs and Profit, man. It's what is it, like YouTube dot, let's see, hold on. Give me a sec. What the heck is this? I don't even have McAfee. Let's see, YouTube. There we go. So here it is. There it is right there, bro. Yeah, we'll get to EJ here in a second. Let's see. The bets back maybe need to go through again. So it's inefficient price action, right? So the market needs to rebalance itself. So when you have price that does a movement like this, right? There was no sell side, no sellers offered. It was all buyers. So the market needs to come back and fill in these gaps, right? It needs to ultimately do that. Why does it need to do that? Well, I'll tell you. So from a compliance standpoint, right? When you have the market that moves too quickly, right? And it doesn't rebalance itself, the institution or the entity that creates this move here typically can be fined for that inefficient price action. Because there has to be, the way the market moves, there has to be both buy and sell side liquidity. There also has to be proper, proper mitigation in order to go higher. That's why smart money concepts is, that's the development of smart money concept, is understanding that the market needs to come in and fill in those gaps. So that's the whole basis of that strategy. What you got? Oh yeah, that's me. All right, cool. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, for me, right now, EN is just kind of like in a holding pattern, and same thing like EU, right? Like EU, you can kind of see like EU, this is what I was waiting on. I wanted us to come into this 4-hour candle for the sell. So, I'm still waiting to see what we do when we get up there. I wasn't too happy that we've made a new low, but in actuality, it doesn't mean that now this is what's maintaining structure. Now, I mean, this is still, for me, this is still all one leg. So I've got an alert up here. If we do in the event come back up, this 4-hour, it's the 4-hour candle is what I'm looking at. Really nice, clean 4-hour candle is where I want to play. So that's going to be my target for the sell on EU. And I'm just going to be waiting. I'll just be waiting. There's so EU is just a waiting game. Pound CHF. What was I thinking with pound CHF? So pound CHF. Yeah, pound CHF sucked because this was the sell that I wanted to get into. Hold on, guys. Give me 2 seconds. All right, sorry, had to get my water. Okay, cool. Do I want to do a top down on DXY? So DXY is momentarily bullish. I'm expecting it to continue bullish. Yeah. Do you think EU will go a bit lower? Yeah, I think so. Wait, before taking the buy, I'm not taking a buy on EU, taking a sell. Yeah. The accumulation on, yeah, I mean, I was pretty adamant. So you can see what I'm waiting on. This distribution, 100%, I'm pretty confident it's going to be a reaccumulation. We've already jumped our creek, right? We've already jumped our creek. And this actually, we traded above, you can see right here, we traded above ever so slightly here. So, but if you look at EU's already made a new low. So I'm anticipating this to go higher. So yeah, this is going to be the big test. This is the big test for DXY, this 3-day candle right here. If it can get through this 3-day candle, I'm pretty confident that we're going to come back up into this area up here on the DXY. So, but don't, it's only momentarily, right? Because we are bearish, right? We are bearish. We are in a weekly distribution, right? Here's your distro. You break out accumulation that takes it up into supply. This is another distro. So now I'm expecting us to take this low. But I'm just expecting us short term to be bullish until we can get up into, probably, even get into the heart of this right here. Maybe that'll be the catalyst to get us, but you can see, what are we doing? We're just making higher highs, right? So yeah, there's from a fundamental standpoint, there's a lot going on with the dollar right now. The US is dealing with inflation. They're talking about these capital gains proposed taxes. And so there's a lot going on that potentially could be bad news. You know what I mean? So we'll see, but for the most part right now, short-term bullish, right? We're in a reaccumulation. So I'm expecting this to go a little higher. Let's see. On Pound Chef, what you got, bro? So I'm not going to be interested in it because that's Asian price action. So yeah, I'm not interested in that. What I'm going to be interested in, hold on. Yeah, we'll get over to it. I'll show you. So I won't be interested in a Pound Chef for anything until this low gets taken. When this low gets taken, then I will be interested in looking for sells again. So like you were on the 10-minute, right? So where are you looking on the 10-minute? So yeah, no, I'm definitely not looking at anything here yet. Nope. Yeah, I need us to take this low. Yeah, I need us to take that low. So once we take that low, then I'll be back to getting sells, right? Because when we look at it, so we're bearish on the intraday because we broke. And then from a lower time frame perspective, right, this was the low and then we broke it. So technically we're bullish on the lower time frame. All you've done is violated order flow. So yeah, I'm not touching pounds Swiss franc until we break that low. Yeah. Yep. There you go. Cool. All right. Yeah, you got it, man. You got it. So yeah, this is why I'm not looking at GN, bro. GN is, this is GN. This is why I'm not really until we either break lower time frame structure or make a new high, right? Because we had the reaccumulation. This is where I took a bunch of buys, and then what do? We just broke and came down into it. So until we either make a new high or we take out this low, I'm not playing the GN BS game. GN can sit here and go sideways for another month for all I care. I'm not, GA, I think in my opinion is a little cleaner to play. NJ, yeah, NJ's crap. I'm just using NJ to leverage on GA. I'm sorry, on AJ. UCAD for me is, again, just a mess. There's, there was an attempt to sell. We had the distro, but ended up breaking even. And at this point, like I was really favoring a buy out of here. I'm not too interested in anything with UCAD right now. But let's talk about UJ, right? So UJ, why am I not interested in a buy out of this area right here, right? So do I have it marked out? Let's see. So, all right. So here we go. So from an intraday perspective, this accumulation is the cause of this, right? And the reason I'm not interested in taking anything out of here is we have 1, 2, 3 drives, right? So this potentially is a type 2 accumulation, right? out of this type 2 accumulation, one of the things that, I don't like is where are we accumulating, right? All of this is pretty evenly traded. I want this down here. This is where I want it to come. Not only that, but how many of you have seen, whether you're in chats, other groups, how many people have you seen that people want to buy out of this candle? Is there a lot of you that are looking at buys on UJ?
Everyone wants to do that.
So if everyone's buying, what's going to keep the institution from making this a redistro? If everybody's going to be buying, right?
Sheesh.
So that's just my take on it. That's why I'm not going to buy out of here. That's why I'm not buying out of that. So for me, I'm still waiting here. This is the most logical area for me to really catch a buy out of it. Yeah, I mean, this right here is way, way, way too easy. It's too much. And not only that, but here, let's look at it from this perspective, right? So what do we have? Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me go to a different chart. What do we have? There we go. All right, cool. So what do we have here? For me, the old break and retest, right? We have support, we have a zone, we have a zone, we have a zone, we have a zone. So,
Would you call that liquidity?
I mean, the whole thing is going to be liquidity, but I think where they're going to have to come down to is this right here. This is where they're in drawdown. So this is the demand that caused this right here. So I think when you're looking at it from how are they gonna get here? Well, what better way to get a sell than to entice a ton of buyers? Because people are like, oh, look, buys. Look at the rejection, right? People always say, look at the rejection. So, maybe they'll give one more push like this and then get it to where, all right, now not only do we have the zone people, the break and retest people, but now we got the trend line people that are working this trend line. And then that's going to be the reason that they can push the market, take out all the buys by converting those stop losses into sell orders, get down into here, and then they can work this back up. So for me, that's how I'm seeing it. That's why I'm not interested in trying to buy this. The difference between this, right? The difference between this and when you look at Chef JPY, right? Chef JPY is definitely a cleaner setup and it makes sense, right? For me, Chef JPY, what do we see? Well, we have this accumulation in here. We're building another accumulation, right? And did we come as deep as I wanted it to? No. Was this potentially was this the grab of liquidity that took out these lows? I mean, that's how I'm seeing it. So if there's going to be a JPY cross that I'm buying, it's going to be out of Chef JPY, not UJ. For me, I think UJ is, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Like if this ends up being a good buy coming out of it, guess what? This is how I know when I'm going to get into the buy. So when price comes into this area and then we make a new high, all right, then I'll catch an accumulation out of here to go higher. But for me, I think this is going to get run, specifically because I have no idea where and why we accumulated out of here, right? What did this do? Yeah, this caused this high, but then this caused this high. So why do they take that low? And why do they take this? And why do they take this? So for me, I can't understand why they're doing what they're doing here. So if I don't have a clear idea, I just move on. If it's not abundantly clear what it's doing, I'm done. But in Chef JPY, it's still valid because tested the zone where started the move, right? Yeah, they're accumulating in the prior accumulation that broke the high. So yeah, yep. Yeah, so that's UJ. Before I get into indices like gold, it sucks, man. This morning we were looking at a gold sell. This stupid thing missed my order by, I don't even know, missed my order by that right there. That's what it missed my order by. So peanuts. But it was a really nice distro into a redistro into that equities open and just missed my order. So out of that, you can kind of see it's, it made a low. It's kind of just giving a complex pullback. I'll look at it again, maybe tomorrow during equities open. I am interested to see, because I was looking to take a hedge out of here. I'm interested to see what happens when we get into here. But overall, I am pretty clean on the notion that we're going to make a new low. This definitely broke some structure to the left. If you look at it from here, we did break, what was it? We did make a new low. Yeah, we did make a new low out of here. And we definitely have a ton of money sitting right down here. So, I definitely see a reason for this to just keep dropping, so, I'm bearish on gold. I'm also, obviously I'm bearish on silver as well. Definitely I was looking for a sell out of here. We just didn't get it, but higher time frame, we have tons of reason to come lower, right? Tons of reason. You could see the distribution in the making already over here. And, this is where I want to get us into down here. Let's see what you got. Let's see. You're looking for a buy. Looking for a buy on the 15-minute. Let's see. 15-minute. So you're going to play order flow. That's what you want to play. You want to play order flow. Yeah, the only thing I'll say is good luck. I personally, I'm not playing order flow with it. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, could it work? Yeah, I mean, it could. I mean, you have so you definitely have an accumulation, right? Like you have an accumulation here. The question is, was this properly mitigated? Do they need to mitigate it? Because if they're going to end up being bearish, they're going to take it out anyway. But this is just order flow. So, and I'm not interested one bit in playing order flow. I mean, if you're successful with order flow, then by all means take it. I mean, this is London price action, so not too shabby. It looks pretty decent. Yeah, but I have no desire whatsoever to try to play order flow on silver. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, on gold, I can see it's about the same type of entry, but the difference between silver and gold. Did that make that high? Yeah, but this was only going to be a hedge. This was only going to be a hedge if I caught this sell. So, yeah, I'm not too interested in doing that. Yeah, we're going to look at indices. So I know someone asked about Nasdaq. What is this doing? This is because yeah, there's no market cycle, right? So on EU, right, like it's just a continuation play, so for me, let's just say this, right? Like you have a distribution like EU did. You have a redistro, right? And then hold on. And then you have this, right? You have, oh, hold on. Then you have a bounce, right? That's what EU did, gave a bounce. And out of that bounce, we get something like this and then that, right? This is not, like, this to me is not a leg. this is still the leg. This is just the continuation play. Right. So, you know, maybe if it had a proper accumulation here, then that came up and either broke order flow or something, or tapped into supply, then I would say, okay, market cycle. But on EU, none of that's happened. Like if you look at it here, right, let's go. So this all here is all just, this is all a redistribution, right? It's a redistro. So this is where I'm still waiting, right? What did this tap into? Nothing, right? Nothing for me. The cells are here, right? These are the cells. So when I look at this move, I'm not saying, you know, just like I'm not saying this was a break of structure, I'm not saying that if we do this, this is going to be a break, right? What's maintaining bearishness? This is maintaining bearishness, not this. All right. So that's why. All right. So real quick, Nasdaq. Let's Nasdaq. Oh. So Nasdaq, what is Nasdaq doing? So let's look at this. Hold on. Nasdaq. So when we broke this high right here, bear with me. So when we broke this high, this is what's maintaining structure right here. So, okay, so we're still bullish, right? We're still bullish. Oh, this thing's a mess. I see it. I mean, so all this is just like order flow. So you can see you have your distro, right? Distro into another distro, which is maintaining, into another distro. So this is what, you know, this is why I don't play order flow, because we broke and then we broke, right? We invalidated supply and then we broke. So I don't know who trades Nasdaq, but I'd love to get your opinion on how you traded this. Yeah, no, they are bullish forever. Yeah, that's why I'm you know, US 30, I'm waiting for a buy. I'll tell you what though, like if I was looking for a buy on Nasdaq, I'd be in here, like this area right here is where I'd be looking, because we can, you know, we can clearly see this is what's maintaining. This accumulation appears to have mitigated out of here, and this appears to have mitigated out of here. So this is your slingshot that creates this push, right? This is that reaccumulation. So, you know, I mean, nothing about this is clean. No, what are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? Yeah. Yeah, so US 30, I'll tell you what, do you ever option trade indices? No, man, I no, like actual options contracts. No, I don't. You know, for me, that's just another thing I have to do. And to be honest, I don't need it. Like, I don't need to do it. I don't need to waste my time doing it. So, you know, I'm pretty happy with like the profits I make out of margin trading it, out of trading crypto or investing in crypto and trading crypto. And then, you know, I have a couple of stocks here and there that I'll trade, you know. So real quick, I gave you my thought on US 30, right? Like here's a perfect example, right? Order flow. So how many people were probably trying to sell out of here because we made this low? right? And for me, instead of trying to sell this stupid thing, I'm just waiting on buys, right? So, that's where I'm waiting. You can see I've got the alert. I won't do anything with US 30 until we come into here. And the reason is because you had that distro, right? Here's your shakeout. So this is the shakeout. Ultimately this is your creek. You accumulate in your shakeout to mitigate. And what do? We push in a new high. So we have a ton of Asian liquidity sitting here. So there's reason for price to come in. We have really nice imbalance sitting in here. So for me, it's just a waiting game. Let this puppy walk itself down. And when we get into this area, this is where I'm going to be looking for price to ultimately come down into right here. And you could see the accumulation, right? So we have, really clean accumulation. You have your climax, your test in B, right? Your upthrust action, you have your spring. And the key thing is this, the spring happens at London Open. And then what do? This is our test. So we have ultimately a type 1 into a reaccumulation. So where I'm going to be looking for my entry is I'm going to be looking for my entry either coming out of here or coming out of here, right? Out of this test. And like, if we just do like lazy man's, I call it like lazy man's fibs, right? Instead of trying to find the candle, if you just get a ballpark idea, like you could see that out of this spring, right? Out of this spring, we clearly have a clean test. Out of the test, we clearly come to 50%. So that's why, like, this is the area I'm looking. Can we come lower? Yes. And that's why I'm not going to have a limit order. For me, it's going to be, wait for the schematic. So yeah, and I'm not playing order flow on it. I'll just sit here and play this, right? This accumulation is where I'm going to play. And I'll just wait. If it takes a couple of weeks to get down there, that's where I'll wait. Yeah, I'll be patient as can be with it. And what did this do? It just wiped the board. It took out, swept the high. So this is your distro, right? Here's your, this is your, your climax, your test, your up thrust. Here's your UTAD. UTAD's broken. Am I interested in trying to sell this from up here? No. I mean, if we come up here, maybe I'll take a look and see if I can catch a small distro. But in reality, I'm just going to wait. We're bullish. Why try to fight this? Think about how many people in the last year have been trying to sell this, and no, it's just not worth it for me. So, at this point, when we get down into this area here, that's when I'm going to play. Yeah, and SPX is about the same thing. You can kind of see, let's see, you can kind of see the distro that happened here that just fell apart. What do we end up doing? We ended up just reaccumulating. So this entire thing is just a massive reaccumulation. Let's see. I'll just take that off. So ideally the same thing. I'm going to be looking, this is where I'm looking for potential buy right in here on SPX. And if we can get it, great. I'm not going to have a limit order. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to play a schematic. Even if it's a lower time frame schematic, I'll play it. I don't mind playing the lower time frame schematic on it. And obviously I'm only going to play it during New York session. So maybe tomorrow we get another push down. There's Australian news tomorrow. That potentially is going to give us a little movement out of this. We do have FOMC. We'll see what old Jerome's going to say. If Jerome says something worthwhile, maybe this gets a push down. And then maybe Thursday we'll get something like the accumulation to take the sucker back up. But it's got to be worth my while, and that's why I want it to come down here, because like, let's just say I get, let's just say something like this, right? Say, and never in a million years will I ever take 9 points stop loss on SPX. Like, it's got to be under 3 points. So 30 pips, but even coming up to here, I'm already past my 1 to 11 or my 1 to 10 minimum. So I'm okay with that, so we'll see how this plays out. But right now, like my big focus is, the dollar crosses. I'm going to be looking, if we do get back up, for AU and in EU. I'm also, Chef JPY is big on the list, and then continuation on GJ and CADJ. I mean, that's ideally what I'm going to be trying to play and looking forward. Let's see. I'm one of those people, I kind of feel stupid sometimes. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll tell you right now, like for me, it's just be patient and be disciplined. Like, I can't tell you how many times, like, again, US 30, remember it, I'm not taking a play on US 30 until we come here. When we come here is where I'll be looking for a play on US 30, not a moment sooner. If we have an accumulation that happens like here, I don't care. I'm not going to worry about it. It's all like I'll tell you right now, one of the key things that really put me over the hump of being consistent and successful was that, I have my game plan and I don't deviate from my game plan. If I don't see what I want to see, then guess what? There's no surprises. The anticipation and the reaction are one. Obviously, you want to be able to, have a little bit of flexibility and be able to, react to what price is doing, but you also want to have that game plan set and have an understanding of what you want to see price do out of it. So, but yeah, other than that, I mean, that's pretty much everything I'm looking at for this week. I'm, truth be told, like it is going to be just a really short, not crazy week for me, just because I'm in massive profits from, GJ, from CADJ. I'm not really trying to, to make up anything crazy on the trade side. What I will be looking for is, again, like continuation plays, on CADJ, GJ. I'm going to be looking for, potential, AJ sells, and, everything else is kind of just waiting in limbo, so keep in mind, we do have some news, tomorrow and Thursday. Yeah, man, you got it. And then what's crypto done? What is, ooh, yeah. So there may be, I'll tell you right now, there may be a good little trade on BTC today. So we're in the area that I was looking for a buy, and you can kind of see we're starting to accumulate. So, just a quick little crypto thing. Like I've got it marked out. You've already see we've got our 3 drives, 1, 2, 3. So this right here, if we get the spring, we break structure, I'll be playing it like this. And same thing with like with ETH. Like so I had a buy on Ethereum earlier today. I took partials. It was a 1 to 64, 1 to 8, where I took partials. And then you can kind of see what it's done. It's just dropping here. So Ethereum is actually not going to be something I'm going to be looking to play. I think it's just going to be BTC. Yeah, because we've taken this low. Well, we potentially are going to take this low. So I'm more favorable. What's XRP done? Oh yeah, XRP is coming down. So XRP, I'm waiting here. I'm waiting down here. I'm waiting around like 75 cents for XRP. Both on the margin trading side and for the investment side, like to throw some orders in, I'm going to be looking in there. Yeah, man, have a good one. Whereabouts should I go for advanced study on Wyckoff? That's a good question. I mean, you can find places online. I'll tell you right now, I've known people that have paid some decent money. I would do some homework first. There's Matt. Hold on, is Matt still on the call? I know Matt dropped some money on a Wyckoff tutorial and education that, is Matt. Let's see. No, Matt's gone. So, Matt dropped some money that was just a waste of money. And like I said, I mean, where I got a lot of my stuff from, my mentor no longer does it. He's completely retired. But I know you can find some stuff online. There's definitely some places. Just keep in mind though that you want to find that medium between paying a crap ton of money, because some of these places, I mean, I'll tell you right now, like when I was looking for mentors, there was one that for a 1-year membership, 1-year mentorship, it was $100,000. So some of these, they charge an arm and a leg. Yeah, Hex. Honestly, I haven't. Let's see. Hex USD, right? Let's see. Is it only on Uniswap? No, we'll look at the one on Uni. What is this doing? Let me take the Asian session off. I'll tell you what, like I have some, my crypto portfolio has been doing phenomenal. When was this? July 20th, it dipped in there. So I'll tell you right now, like if this is what you're looking at for like an investment side, I honestly would wait for an all-time high. It rewards you. What's the percentage for the stake? I would wait for an all-time high, around 40. Okay, that's not too bad. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, I would wait for the all-time high because the moves already happened. Like your buying opportunity was in here. Yeah, your buying opportunities in there. I would just wait. Yeah, XRP, I'm waiting down in here. This is what I want to see XRP do. And then oh, you know what? Here's one that I'm waiting on. Obviously I was waiting here, we didn't get it, but now that we broke, I'm going to be waiting in here. I'm not margin trading any of this. This is all just like investment side. I've been just killing it on the investment side. What's Uni done? Yeah. Solana's, I don't know if you guys, whoever's in Solana, good for you. 250% out of my buy that I took out of here last month. I was waiting for us to see if we can get down to like 16. We didn't, but I like Solana was just phenomenal. Luna's a good play, man. Luna's a good play. I don't have any Luna, just because it didn't come down to the area that I wanted. Synthetics is looking pretty well. All of these, I just want to see these make a little high. Ravencoin is another one. I mean, Ravencoin. So I missed. I had a buy limit. I had a buy limit right in here. So you could see the equal lows sitting right in here. I had a buy limit in this wick right here. Something like, I don't remember where it was at, but it was right in here. This thing just took off. So obviously I've got an alert. We come back into like maybe this reaccumulation. I'll maybe cost dollar average in. Ren's been on a tear. So I bought in here at 28 cents. I've more than doubled my investment. I've been waiting in here since Christmas for it to come back in, and you could see we just beautiful drop into it. And this thing has a potential, almost 600% increase to get up. Obviously if you don't own, like, you want to diversify. I'm not saying that I'm like the greatest crypto person in the world. I have a really diversified portfolio between, large cap, mid caps, and low caps. So, Matic's definitely one of them. What else do I own? Chainlink's in there. Loopring. Yeah, Chainlink's been on a tear. Chainlink's been good. Kusama's another one. Kusama's been, so I really like what Kusama's been doing. You can Kraken, you can stake it for 12. It's one of the highest that you can find. This was just a really clean entry out of here. And then Kava is another one. Kava is 20% on, and I tore up the 80% on this bad boy. These are my entries right in here. And now I'm waiting, since we broke this high, I'm waiting for us to come back into like this area to get more Kava. how do I find these coins? What do you mean? How do I find them? Like, yeah, I mean, I just read about it. I have, friends of mine that are really, really into the nitty gritty on crypto projects. So, I'll tell you right now, like I don't take any credit for half of this stuff. Um, when a buddy of mine says, "Hey, check out this ticker," and gives me the ticker, right? I look at the chart and I decide on how I'm going to play it out of the chart. So, do I think? Yeah, of course I think Ethereum's going to make an all-time high. Absolutely. I'm pretty confident that Ethereum's going to make it double, into the whew, into the I mean, we're gonna surpass the 10,000 mark very, very shortly on Ethereum. I think right now they just got to get the yep, yeah, it's burning it up. Yeah. Now the only thing is though that that whole max supply issue with Ethereum. So that's the only thing that potentially I think is going to stalemate Ethereum, but overall it's still going to be phenomenal. Bro, ICP was another one, bro. ICP was, what did I get out of here? Almost 180% on ICP. Am I still providing liquidity on QuickSwap? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Thoughts on Shiba? It's a meme coin, so I wouldn't put too much. I think I've got, I don't know, like $1 billion worth of Shiba that cost me probably like $1,000, and that's it. Yeah, I'm not, I'm not ridiculously invested in it. You can kind of see, I saw the accumulation in here. So I bought back on May 17th. That was it. Like when we came into here. So I'm in profits on it, but I'm not trying to get anything crazy on it. Hold on, what else? Kava, ICP, bro, helium. I talked about like that helium hot spotting, bro. This thing, look at this. This thing's up 135% from when I bought. I bought in here in this window here at cost dollar average in right around like $10. This thing touched 23.5. So I'm pretty excited with this. I'm expecting this to continue to fly. So B Pro, let me look at it. I've never even heard of it. Let's see. What's the project? Oh, it's on Q. Oh, bro, you lost me already on Qcoin. I hate Qcoin. I hate Qcoin. So what is it though? So this rallied at the beginning of the year. Gaming platform? Okay. I hate Qcoin in general. I hate dealing with Qcoin. Yeah, they just do some shady crap, man. And I'm not a fan of it. Yeah, I mean, it's got the potential. What caused this spike? Was it what happened in March that caused this huge spike? Yeah, I mean, it came in at a really nice area. That's what it was, a pump and dump. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know. For me to invest money, because I'll tell you right now, like I'm not putting $500 into a coin. Like I'm dropping, I'm dropping some money into it. I've got to, I know it's an investment, so I know that I can lose it. But for me to do that, I have to know a crap ton, yeah, no worries. Yeah, for me, I don't know enough about this yet. I'll tell you what, though, I don't know if you guys have looked into this. Have you guys seen that GameStop? Hold on, GameStop NFT. Have you guys, I looked it up. Where is it? Right here. So it's obviously going to be on the Ethereum network. Oh, this is new. Hold on. When I looked at this the other day, come on, what's going on? Let's see. I know this they released on the let's see. I know GameStop's coming out with this for thing. Is it? Okay, cool. Sporting them on. I'll have to look it up. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, GameStop is coming. Let me get out of night mode. So GameStop obviously is coming out with their own NFT, and it's going to be on the Ethereum network. I just don't know what the heck. Yeah, you can see the address. There's an address right here. I just don't know why it's looking stupid. There you go. So you can see the Ethereum. Yeah. So I'm eager to see, and like I looked up. So when you know, I'll just give you guys some quick little gadgets in here. So when you copy that, right? And you, let me go over to, hold on. So when you copy this and you put it over here, and then we go over to, let's go to the contract. So you can see it's a GameStop token, and this is going to be, I think, in my opinion, pretty important. But what I wanted to see was, let's look at, I want to read the whole code, recontract. Let's see it. Hold on. Oh, you can't hear me? Can you hear me or no? Launch date. So if you look at the launch date, right? So we just need to copy this into, let's see. You got it? All right, cool. Where's my epoch? Hold on. There you go, epoch converter. So when yeah, there we go. So, oh, look, so it's August 18th. They changed it. Okay, so this is actually going to be released August 18th at what is that? Let's see, at 1:03 a.m. GMT time. So yeah, I'm curious to see what happens out of it. Yeah, I'm still following it. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with it, but it's definitely like when you look at the contract on it, like I've read through it already. It's pretty, I mean, the potential's there for GameStop, you know, to have some significant price value. Have I heard of PI coin? No. Nope, never heard of it. So if I've never heard of it, it just means that it's not something I'm willing to throw some money at. But yeah, I mean, everything else on here I'm invested in. So yeah, I'm definitely going to stay on BTC because I may throw a little margin trade on BTC here as soon as one of these alerts goes off. I got it boxed out, so you could see the accumulation right in here. So right now we got 3 drives. So we'll see how that's going to be. But anyway, that's all I've got, guys. Hopefully I kind of mixed it up. I'll tell you what, Sportmon, I am going to research that. I'm going to copy it and I will throw it in here. Oh, wait, no. There we go, Sportmon. I'll do some research on it tonight if I have time. If not, I'll do it tomorrow morning. But yeah, awesome. Well, listen, guys, enjoy. Thank you for hopping on, and hopefully you guys got some value out of it. And I'll catch everybody later, man. Thank you.